When it comes to brachial plexus injuries, not a single one is the same. My injury was from birth, but this is not always the case, as the injury has to do with the nerves connected to your spine. Brachial plexus, or Erb's palsy, has many causes, and though it may seem like an obscure injury, in the birthing process alone, 1 to 5 children in every 1,000 births will receive some form of this injury. There are 5 roots that can be affected. Mine personally was the C5 root, and there are 3 ways they can be damaged. They can be torn, ruptured, or stretched. For me, my injury was only stretched, which means it did not need a transplant to fix the injury. My experience was not a fun one, and I lived with very little motion and feeling in my right arm for nearly 7 years. These are my before and after pictures. My mother heard of the surgeon named Dr. Nath, who was one of the few surgeons willing to fix my affliction at the time. He even gave us the book for free on my injury to study. After some research, we found out this would be the best option for restoring my arm, but the big problem is the surgery is only performed in Texas. The trip to Texas lasts about 16 hours and 43 minutes, and that does not count for the stops that we took along the way. I had just 2 of the surgeries. I had the triangle tilt surgery, which helped fix the nerves. This cast was in a Statue of Liberty pose. This one was particularly scary because they did not realize when I was laying down that the cast was too tight, and I could not breathe when I woke up, and people were afraid my oxygen levels were dropping not because of the cast, but for a complication, and it scared everyone. I also had the mod quad surgery, which dealt more with rotating and shaving muscle. This cast was put on also too tight, and ended up digging into my arm and creating another scar on the underside.
So what was it like having a child with not only financially, but kind of mentally and physically as well?
It was pretty tough. I didn't know what to expect. I was scared. I had no clue what a brachial plexus injury was. So I happened to do the research and learn what all the brachial plexus injury was, and then the degrees of brachial plexus injury was tough for me, and not knowing which degree my child had was tough. Financially was not so bad at first because we did early intervention with the birth to 3 program, which was, that's paid for through your insurance. That's okay. The surgeries that I had to do, the first one wasn't covered at all. The insurance commission was $50,000 debt that I ended up having to file bankruptcy over. Every school year was a struggle. Now I'll get teary-eyed. Every school year was a struggle because I had to send a note every year to the gym teacher that says, here's what Mackenzie can and can't do.
Overall, they went as well as 2 surgeries 16 hours away could have went. Some issues and scares did occur, but I made it through well enough in the end. The major problem was money. After we finished the surgeries and appointments, our insurance company said they would no longer cover the expenses, and while the doctors did their best to eradicate some of the costs, it still was upwards of $200,000. This caused my family to go bankrupt. The trouble still not in there. I still had to have checkups for 2 more years and send videos back into the doctors after that. The 2 checkups were in Philadelphia, which is 7 hours away, and Cincinnati, Ohio, which is 5 hours away. Both trips we also drove. I also had to do physical and occupational therapy as well as serial casting multiple times. While everyone was nice and tried to make the experience better for me, it was still tough for a child. In the end, it was up to me to keep up with the training for my arm to make sure nothing will revert back to its previous state. As I got older, I spent less and less time taking care of my arm and muscle, and I've had some atrophy and contracting since. My case turned out better than most, as most of my arm movement was repaired. With many advancements since 2007, it is much more efficient to fix an injury like mine. I am proud of my results and everything that has been done for me. The mallet test is how you judge your results. Here are my results of the mallet test. Good is on the right. The left is still the injury.